We should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. You can just lean back a bit where you'll be comfortable. So maybe.
Lean like this.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I can see the sign.
Okay.
And you're rolling,
Okay.
and I'm the last guy to roll. You roll, and
Perfect.
speed and frame.
So just tell us your name so we have it on camera.
My name is Juan Antonio Bayona. I'm director for The Impossible.
Very good. How did this story come to you?
Well, it was Belén Atienza, the producer of the film, who heard the story on the radio. It was the 3rd anniversary of the tsunami. And she came to me, she told me the story. She was so impressed and so emotional about it that immediately I got exactly the same. I mean, I wanted to meet the real people, the family.
Sorry, guys.
And I started to think about it, and the whole thing, it turned out into an obsession to me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I mean, I realized that there was something that was talking to me in a very direct way.
Why did you? What was it about that made you feel the movie had to get made?
Well, this is one of these stories that definitely you had the impression that need to be told. I mean, what these people did there during those days, those dark days, I mean, it's so amazing. The thing is that from the very beginning, we didn't want to portray them as heroes in order not to look them different from the people who didn't make it. I mean, one of the things that we started to talk about when we were doing the script is that they couldn't do anything that will define their survival, because it would have been like telling the people who didn't make it that maybe they didn't do enough. So the whole thing was about fate and being lucky. But of course, there's something heroic in the way they behave. I mean, the way this mother behaves in front of her kid, the way the decisions she chose, especially in those moments where she had the impression that she was going to die. I mean, for me, that there was something heroic in that, and something very emotional. One of the themes of the story is legacies, what we inherit from our parents, and important things that we need to give to our children. And definitely, this is one of the themes that I like. I mean, my first film, The Orphanage, was about also growing up. This is also about growing up. You have these kids that should behave like adults, and these adults that they are hopeless like kids. And all these themes, the love, the sacrifice, death, they were in this family's story in a very universal way.
Very good. What was your first meeting with Maria like?
I mean, one of the things that we learned doing this film is that there are things that you cannot explain using words. And that was definitely meeting Maria for the first time. That was definitely one of those moments. It's if you take a look at the film, it's all, you have all these people, all these nationalities, and for example, we have a moment where Maria is rescued by this Thai old man, and the real Maria told us that from the very beginning, she was able to understand what he was saying, even though he was talking in Thai. And I thought, how am I going to do that? I mean, but then I realized that it was not a question of nationalities, not a question of race, it's not a question of social level. I mean, the tsunami took all that away. It was a question of people. And these people understood each other perfectly in those situations.
That's great. Why was it important to you to shoot in the actual locations where this happened?
Well, to shoot in the actual locations and be surrounded by survivors during the shooting, and during the shooting there were many of them sometimes, it's always a reminder that the emotions that we were portraying were real. And that gave us, not just for me, but for the whole crew, like a sense of responsibility. Also, it was like, for me, I think it transforms me as a director, even as a person, because it was like a vital learning experience to be in contact with them. Because all these people, all the suffering they went through, I mean, they give you like like a very clever idea of how uncertainty in life and how can your life change in 1 second.
Right. Did you feel it was
Is it okay?
important?
Is
That's
it-
fine. You
okay,
got it. Yeah. Did you feel it was just important to tell the locals' story in this process as Maria's family's story?
Yeah, I mean, this is the story of this family, but from the very beginning, these people, in exchange for sharing with us their most painful intimacy, the only thing that they asked me is to remember that this wasn't the story of just this family. It was many, many people's story. So I from the very beginning, I realized that this family was going to tell us what happened there, to all the people there. I mean, so this is what we do. I mean, the whole ending is about this very interesting idea of not being two-dimensional. It's not about you live or you die. There's also a lot of suffering in surviving. There's a lot of it's not. I mean, I never saw victory in survival. I mean, it's always it's also like a there's a lot of suffering also in there. So I plan to tell the story of this family and all the people around them were that was the honest way of tell the story of the people from all over the world, the Thai people, the other, all the nationalities there.
Mm-hmm.